I had taken also another example here of, let's say, 1,000 shillings. I think I already gave you that example. Instead of you now paying Uber 200 shillings, Bolt, and this we are only talking about Bolt, not Uber. So instead of 800, now you will take home 800 less 32 bob for a trip of 1,000 shillings. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to address two topics. One is just to give you an update of my upgrade of my seat covers. I think in my last video, I told you that I had taken my vehicle for a retouch. As you knew, this car had kind of a cream seat covers that was, getting dirty very quickly. But recently, I decided to just take the vehicle to get some new seat covers there at Roysambu, and I will put you the contacts of the guy who did, this work for me. Honestly, I love it so much, not because it is the best quality you can get in town, but because of what I would call the value for money. So if you can just see around how my seat covers look like at a cost or at a price of less than 10,000, I had to, I had my seat covers upgraded. So this vehicle is a vehicle that I always consider a low budget vehicle, and I was not ready to spend 20,000, 30,000 upgrading my seat covers. So as you can see, the back compartment has two sections. So this far end seat, there is a section here that that separate the rear back. So if I have a luggage, I can bed this one forward. This one can bed forward alone, and then the two other people can sit here, or one person. But most of these small vehicles, normally they have one single back section. So there was quite a lot of work done here, separating this side. And then the quality of the fabric, I would say it's okay. It's nice. It has been 3 days that I have been using it, and I can tell you I'm more than satisfied. So if you want to get in touch with the guy who did this work for me, I am more than, generous to let you guys talk to him and just see how he can also help you, especially if you want to do things of vehicle maintenance on budget. I had tried to do some research online, and I came to realize that a lot of guys who do seat covers will always charge you more than 25,000 for these small vehicles. I know probably their fabric is of superior quality, or maybe the quality of their workmanship is more refined and much better than this, but I didn't need all that. All I needed is just a presentable seat cover that would, would be easy to clean compared to the one that I had, because, the cream color was sometimes a headache for me, because anytime you take it to the car wash, and then I have my kids, getting in and, pouring a few things there, then it would stain the seat and became very difficult for me to clean it. So on a budget of less than 10,000, you can also get this stuff for yourself. So I will attach the link there so that you guys, not the link, but the number. I'll just put the number here. You can reach to that gentleman. Tell him is Joseph of Explore TV who referred you, and you will get your stuff fixed within a very short time. And I'm sure you guys will enjoy. I always tell people that, these small vehicles, we buy them cheap, so it shouldn't cost us a lot to maintain. So if you bought your vehicle, or your vehicle is for business, or your vehicle is just for movement, you can take advantage of such opportunities. So the second topic that I wanted to discuss about today is on the Uber, the Bolt taxation that has been introduced from the beginning of April this year. I know this is a video that is long overdue. I needed to have done this video actually before the implementation of those 16% VAT on commission. So it is a complex topic, but I will try to break it down for every driver on this platform to understand, and also for every other person who is not a driver to also understand what will happen now to Bolt drivers moving forward. And maybe for the users, we also have customers who use Bolt. Do you expect to see some increase in fare prices from Bolt or not? So that is something that we still look forward to hear. But what happened is that there is this thing that was called the Internet and Digital Marketplace Regulation of 2023. So there are all those draft regulations that are introduced in Parliament, and once they are passed, they become laws. So in 2023, that Internet and Digital Marketplace regulations of 2023, they wanted to introduce VAT on commission for Bolt. And when I say Bolt, this was applicable to all foreign companies that were making money through the digital marketplace. So the VAT was to be introduced in 2021, but I think it took time, and the regulations were passed in 2023, and they required that all non-resident companies like Bolt and Uber and the rest to register and remit their taxes in Kenya. I think what was existing there, and I am not a tax expert, is that these companies used to pay taxes to their mother companies. So I think for Bolt, it belongs to Estonia, and then Uber, it belongs to the US. So these regulations now required that all the companies that are foreign and operating in Kenya digital space start paying taxes in Kenya. So what happened after that? So the regulations were passed in 2023 and they became law. But there was a lot of pushback from Bolt and other companies. So Bolt did not want to impact drivers' earnings immediately. So they said that they will carry the burden of paying the 16% from their pocket until they get a final clarification from KRA that that is the position of government and that there is no going back. So since I think when in 2023, I don't remember exactly, but it has been now 15 months since that law has been passed. And Bolt said that they are not going to take that costs into their books anymore. And they are going to pass that burden to the drivers. And every driver who has a Bolt account, that information was sent to them. And they were told that Bolt is now going to introduce a 16% VAT from the beginning of April, the Fool's Day, 1st of April. And that has happened already. So Bolt, their hope is that Bolt had hoped that, the Parliament and the KRA would take a step back and probably not implement that regulation. That's why they had, taken all that time before they implemented that law. But now it turns out that Bolt have fought their fight, and it seems they have lost it. And now they are like saying, now, kufa dereva, kufa makanga. We are going to pass that burden to the drivers. Even in the middle of their complaints that there are not enough earnings, they don't care. They have carried their burden for 15 months. Now it's the time of driver to feel the heat as well. So what is Bolt focused on? Right now they said that it is important that they stay focused on compliance and doing responsible business within the laws of Kenya. So if drivers will survive, no one knows, but customers are not expected to pay extra money as it is right now. So I don't know whether we have drivers out there who have noticed a hike in price since the 1st of April. I would like to hear your feedback, but that communication was not made out there to the press that Bolt is going to increase any money. What they said is just that drivers are going to pay a 16% more on commission. And I am going to explain that what it means to drivers. It is not a lot of money, but it is something. It is money that drivers used to take home, but they are going to pay a little bit more to Bolt moving forward from the 1st of April, which is already in place. So what am I supposed to add here again? So this commission is 16% VAT on commission. I think that is too much English, but I have done some few maths here to just help you understand exactly how that will be impacted, especially for the drivers. So let's say, for instance, a driver, Bolt normally takes 20% commission from what drivers make. So tuseme driver amekubeba from here to wherever, you pay 1,000 shillings. Bolt driver will pay Bolt 200 shillings, equivalent to 20% commission on every money they make from each trip. So these regulations are now going to say, out of the 200 shillings that the driver is paying to Bolt, they will pay another 16% on top of the 200. So it is not 16% of the total cost of the trip. It is 16% of the commission. Because that is the this commission is not for Uber drivers that are, this VAT, value added tax is not money that the Uber driver is paying to the government. It is the money that Bolt and Uber as companies are going to pay to the government. You get my point? And what they are saying is that drivers should pay this commission on behalf of Bolt. So Bolt are saying, out of the 200 you have been paying them, they have been taking 16% of the 200 and giving the government. But right now, they want you drivers to pay the 16% for them. So you'll pay them their 200 as commission, and then you do what is 16% of 200 is 32 shillings. So instead of you paying Uber 200 like you did before that 1st of April, you as a driver, you'll be paying them now 232 shillings. You get my point? And I think I had done a few examples here. Let me just check if it's relevant. It's here on my other phone. So, for instance, I had taken a trip of like 3,000. If you take 3,000 and pay Uber a commission of 20%, the driver will take home 2,400 because 600 is equivalent to 20%. But now moving forward, you need to take what is 16% of 600, because 600 is the commission you are paying Bolt. Now you need to add them 16%. So you'll pay them 96 shillings on top. You get my point? So you'll pay them 6,696 shillings as a commission. And you driver, you are taking home 2,400. Right now you'll take home 2,400 minus 96 shillings. That should be around 2,304 shillings. So instead of 2,400. So it is not quite a lot of money, but if you imagine, out of the many trips that a driver does per day, especially on a good day when drivers, would collect around 6,000, 7,000 in gross collection, it means a lot. It means that drivers now could lose up to 500 shillings per day from what they used to take home collectively. But if you look at it from the perspective of a single trip, then it is not quite a lot. So I had taken also another example here of, let's say, 1,000 shillings. I think I already gave you that example. Instead of you now paying Uber 200 shillings, Bolt, and this, we are only talking about Bolt, not Uber, because Uber has not released their official communication on how they are going to implement these digital marketplace regulations. So instead of 800, now you will take home 800 less 32 bob for a trip of 1,000 shillings. So what are drivers saying? Drivers right now are tired of complaining. They are like, we are dead, all of us. Government is pushing Bolt to pay them more. Bolt is pushing drivers to pay the drivers more. But nobody is pushing the customer to pay more, because they are saying at the end of the day, the customer has been pushed by Ruto and everyone to pay a lot. So they don't have money. So we are just going to survive with the little money that is out there for everyone to share. So Bolt drivers are expecting that, at least Bolt should increase fare to some extent. They should do something and ask some bit of little more money from the riders or the customers, at least to pass the burden directly to the end consumer. Because Bolt has passed the burden to the drivers, but the drivers are not the end consumers of the service created by the digital economy. It's the riders, it's the passengers, people being moved from point A to point B, and ultimately they should be the carriers of this burden. But now, this is very difficult for the drivers to feel the increase, because the problem with drivers, and this is something that we must think about, is that whenever there is a demand for increase in prices, we want a radical increase. We want 50 shillings to be increased per trip, or 300 shillings to be increased per trip. But if you look at the impact of this tax, it is not that huge. You see, from a trip of 1,000 shillings, you are only being impacted by 32 bob. You get my point? So we are saying, for a trip of 1,000 shillings, Bolt should add 32 shillings to the person you are carrying. What about the trip of 500 shillings? A trip of 500 shillings, Bolt should add 15 bob or 16 bob to cover this cost of tax. Let's now come back to a trip of maybe to 70 shillings. No, to 50 shillings, because that's a quarter of 1,000. It means that Bolt should add around 6 shillings to that trip. Then what happens to a trip of 200 shillings? They should add around 5 shillings. Maybe Bolt can do this, and I am sure probably they will do it without communication. But the increase is so marginal, it is so small that drivers might not see. It is very easy for us to make noise as drivers when price goes, when those taxation are implemented. You say it will impact us in a very big way, but the reality is it is small, but if you do many trips, it impacts you in a big way. So the same way that we want the Bolt to increase the prices, if they increase prices by 5 bob or 10 shillings, let us accept. Because if they increase that price per trip by 10 bob or 5 bob, if you do several trips, you'll find that the 16% that Bolt has taken from you, you will get it back. But let us not expect, radical increase that will make, the affordability of taxi services, less compared to what it is right now to the end users. And that is one thing that Uber drivers must do the math. Before you present your complaints to these companies, do the math and ask yourself, how much money do we want increased? And we want it increased to cover what cost? And this, what I have shown you, use it as an example. If you are going to make any demonstration to Bolt, go with these maths. And we are not going to combine cases here. We are not going to talk about what has happened in the previous years. We will go to Bolt and tell them, we want our 16% back. We are paying you, no problem. You are paying government in return. But us as drivers, we want our 16% back. We want to get it back from the customers. We want to get it back from the passengers. How much should a passenger pay more compared to what they have been paying? We have said for 1,000, a trip of 1,000, just add them 32 bob. Not more, not less. Because we are discussing topic by topic. And you'll see, guys, if you are doing a trip of 2,000 shillings, you are telling Bolt, add them just 16 shillings. It becomes so insignificant. But it doesn't mean it is not useful, because that's what the government is chasing. The government is chasing small coins, small money, 16% of the Bolt's commission. It's very small amount of money. So also Bolt must not ignore drivers. They want that small increase from the riders. And one problem with Bolt is that they always like to use whole numbers with a zero at the end. So they will charge you 110, 210, 510, but they not charge you 505, 507. Let us be practical. Let them right now go even to decimals. Let them charge cast riders. Right now, people are paying with Mpesas. Very few people will pay you with cash. So we can pay any amount, even if it has 5 decimal places. You will charge a person 57 shillings 0.985. Let them pay exactly that, because this is a moment of reality. Let us get compensated for whatever demand we are asking for. And this will help drivers to stay focused. Whenever they have an ask, whenever they have a demand, they will go directly to Bolt, to Uber, and ask them, we want this because of this. And they do the math. No rounding off, no truncating. You don't round it to the nearest or to the, up or down. we want exactly what needs to be compensated to be put, you know, to the end customers to pay that. So that's what I wanted to discuss with you guys. And drivers, if you have been driving around, let me know what is your take. Let me know what has been your impact for the few days that regulation has been into place with the Bolt. And then, yeah, we keep in touch. Cheers, guys, for now, and bye-bye.